Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce that on January 5th, I'm going to be freely gifting each of you my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. In the book, which was initially shown to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, by the way, I share the keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 20 plus years of trial, error, and deep exploration of these perspectives, as well as one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. Also, I would like to invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation experiment with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and at the book's website, goldenkey.gift, where readers will also share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. So if you're wanting 2021 to be the year that you alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to sign up to accept my golden gift right when it comes out on January 5th.
It's a great day in the Positive Head studio with Samantha Lotus and Erica Middlemiss. Welcome back to another beautiful episode.
I was going to add it if you didn't. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome.
I have to do it. You have to hear it in my voice.
Welcome back. So here we are today, you guys. I just needed to hijack Erica's amazing welcome back for you today. So welcome and welcome back. Today we're going to switch it up and talk about things a little bit weird. Talk about things a little extraterrestrial, you might say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we thought we would lighten it up today and make things a little bit more fun and talk about some things we haven't really talked about in a while. Well, we always talk about aliens and things on this podcast, but I don't think you've ever heard Samantha and I talk about aliens. And this was prompted today because there is an NBC news article today that says, here's the headline. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. Then the subheadline is, a galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. How about it? NBC. Couldn't get any more mainstream. Extraterrestrials exist. This we know. I know this. Samantha, do you know this?
Yeah, I am an alien. It's very clear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I am too. I feel more alien than I do human.
Yeah.
So when you guys hear me talk about humans on the podcast, it's like there's a reason why I call us humans. It's like I don't always feel so human. I feel way more alien.
I agree. And I always felt very alien. I was very obsessed with stars and galaxies and the universe ever since I was a little girl. And a couple of years ago, when I went through some health stuff and I learned that I was O negative blood and that caused some complications with what I was going through, I dove deep into this rabbit hole about the O negative bloodline. And it turns out that not having a rhesus factor means that there's no human or earth origin to my bloodline. And when I dove deeper into that, it said that, well, this is either like the blood of the gods or the blood of the aliens that came to earth that mated with the humans. And when I heard that, all of the stuff about like Pleiadians started coming into my sphere, and I have Pleiadian markings on my body, and I dove deeper into that. And yeah, so realized I'm an alien. Blood and all.
Yeah. That's amazing. There's so many different ways where we can remember really our connection to the stars and where we have been before and where we are right now, multidimensionally. This is all happening now. And so I want to share my first UFO experience because it was really a huge awakening for me. I'd already really been quite into the spirituality world, more along the philosophy lines, studying Taoism and Buddhism and things like that, meditation. And I was going through medical school and I was studying one night and I would take breaks and go and sit on my patio and look at the stars. And there was this one star that didn't quite seem like a star. It was really bright. And I literally felt like it was communicating with me and that it could hear me. And that was a really weird feeling because I kind of felt crazy for even thinking of it. But that's just how it felt inside. That was my gut instinct. Like, this thing is watching me and can hear me. Right. And the minute that I really like made that realization, this ship, because I realized very quickly it wasn't a star, started moving straight up and then towards me. And as it came closer, and it was very close, I would say like, so I was in an apartment, there was like a grass area, a little canal, and then there was houses. This thing was right above the houses. And it came right in line with my apartment patio and very, very slowly. And it looked like when it came close, it was a rectangle, like a metallic rectangle. And it came really, and it just scanned like really slowly right past me. And I felt like I was stuck, like completely stuck, but I wasn't scared. Like I feel like my consciousness left for a second, like maybe I went for a little visit or something. There was definitely an occurrence there that happened that I don't quite remember, but time stopped for sure. And the feeling was I love the feeling because it was such peace. I was never afraid. And it just as soon as it was done going by my apartment, it took off in the blink of an eye, 2 little red lights, and it was out. And I was just, like, so shocked. I mean, that was just, like, a super real close encounter, and that just spurred the rest of my journey. And I think that was one of the biggest parts of it. It was to help me along my journey to say, "Hey, you're right. You're not the only people here in this whole entire universe. We're here. Check us out." Right?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's really cool. A lot of people say they have alien spotting, so they've seen it, and there's so much quack watch out there, right? Where it's like, oh, that's
Mhm.
quackery. Oh, that's just a satellite. Oh, that's just a drone. Oh, that's just a this, that, the other thing, and,
Mhm.
and diminishing. Because what happens is when people have a paradigm saying that aliens don't exist and the world is not magic, anything that challenges that paradigm, that worldview, has to be a lie. It has to be bullshit. It has to be,
Yeah.
some other thing, and we diminish it. But what's happening is millions of people are speaking about aliens. It's all over Netflix. It's all over Gaia. Now it's in mainstream media. What's really cool is like, where is this going to go from here?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And actually that point was made in the article from the Israeli space officer. He said, "If I would have said this 5 years ago, people would have just wanted to lock me up and call me a crazy person. But now people are getting it. And so now is the time where we can actually come out and say, yeah, this is happening." And I mean, for me, it's like, and I'm really happy to see it all catching on and this acceptance of it and the cognitive dissonance starting to slowly dissipate, you know, are
Yeah.
being more open to what is out there in the universe. And I love that point, like what space really is. In my QHHT sessions, space is very interesting when people are out in space, when the entity that they are experiencing is out in space. It's a very misty, flowing type of environment, very energetically pulling in a lot of ways, you know? Um, it's definitely not what we think it is. And spaceships are not what we think they are either. We think that there are this technologically advanced things, which they are, and there's different dimensions. Um, to this technology, but the higher you go in this dimensional technology, the ships are actually conscious. And so you and your ship are speaking and working together. Like it knows you, you know it. Right? You ever hear that before?
Well, I'm wrapping around my mind around how it feels like a womb, how it's like
Yeah.
this.
Oh, you're seeing the picture in my mind, Samantha.
Okay, yeah,
That's
yeah,
really cool. Okay, because
yeah.
my ship, I had a QHAC session myself where my ship itself looks like a dome inside. And so it's like a big womb. and it's all like white
What?
crystalline.
That's what I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Yeah.
goosebumps. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was seeing.
I know you were seeing that because as I was saying what I was saying, I was picturing my own ship and the communication with it and how we work together. It's pretty cool.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about our new sponsor, New Calm. As you all know, mindfulness and meditation are key components to being the best version of ourselves. However, I would say sleep is even more important because if we aren't well rested, our bodies can't repair themselves properly and we can't perform optimally or think as clearly. So when I first heard that the New Calm system has been clinically proven in over 1 million sessions to improve sleep and reduce stress without using drugs or side effects, I was excited to get it for my brother to give it a try because he has been having issues with his sleep for many years. The New Calm system is great because it uses cutting-edge neuroscience and consists of 3 non-invasive and non-pharmaceutical items, all of which are included in a monthly subscription that costs less than a daily cup of Starbucks, which will probably only keep you up at night anyway. So if you'd like to feel better rested and less stressed, head over to positivenewcalm.com, where Positive Head listeners will get 50% off a 30-day subscription of New Calm, which also comes with a money-back guarantee. That's positivenucalm, all one word.com. Check it out.
Yeah, you know how you just you meet people. Well, I meet people, and you just know, okay, they're definitely an elf or they're definitely an alien. You
Yeah.
can just see their facial structure. You can see their bones. You can see just the different ways in which they exist. And
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I love that. It's definitely fun. We live in the coolest time because magic is coming on board again.
Mm-hmm.
Witchcraft, wizardry, aliens, plant medicines, the earth speaks, communication with animals, multidimensional timeline shifting, like all of the things that have always been there, but that have been so stripped from us and so buried deep into Earth's core. It's just volcanically erupting.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I feel like in a few years, if not sooner, levitation going to come on board even further.
Of
Mass
course.
telepathy.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
even
just
think
showed
breatharian.
that. You just showed a really good example of that. Like the energies that we are existing in are increasing. And
Yeah.
as these vibratory energies increase, thoughts are becoming things
Yeah.
so much quicker, so much easier. I mean, it's really amazing. And we're going to have more of these abilities like telepathy, levitation, even, one day being able to transport ourselves like Star Trek, but without the machine. We can do that in the higher dimensions. If you ever read the
Yeah.
Seth books, they talk about that. It's very
Which
interesting.
book?
The Seth books, they were one
Ooh.
of the, yeah, those are one of the original books on channeling back in like the 70s. Jane Roberts is the woman who channeled the Seth books. They have a lot of information. They're very, very interesting books to read. Speaking of books and things, I think this has a lot to do with what's happening now is that we have so much access. I know that when I started this journey 20 years ago, 20 plus, I don't know how many now, I didn't have the internet. And what we did have, there was barely anything on it, especially as far as spirituality goes. And now, and literally, I had to go to like the spirituality bookstore, and there was one on South Street in Philadelphia. Like not, there was one. And so now you can look on the internet and find anything. You can find all the ancient texts. You can find all the Hermetic writings, all the Rosicrucian texts. Like it's nuts what you can find out there. So the secrets aren't secret anymore. They used to
Yeah.
be because they were held and only shared in certain ways. And now it's all out there. I love it. There's no more secrets anymore. The magic is real.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we can at the tips of our fingers, we can research and learn about alchemy, about
Mm-hmm.
ancient hermetic practices, about the emerald tablets, about Lumerian codes, about everything. There's everything at the tips of our fingers, and yeah, I feel just so much gratitude, like so much gratitude, because myself as well, I've been on this journey for 15, 16 years now. And back in the day, I was the crazy one. I was the lunatic that nobody could talk to. And it was just me in my head thinking about these things. And, and it wasn't until maybe 8, 9 years ago that I started to meet other people who were like, oh yeah, totally. Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
I see energy, I see auras, I see like, and so
Mhm.
for, just the fact that you are able to listen to this podcast, whoever you are out there listening to this, the fact that this is accessible to you, it's amazing. Like,
Mhm.
it is so amazing what we are being able to access in these times.
Mhm. And how we're able to connect, which is such a
Yeah.
beautiful thing too. Like we're able to connect now in ways that we could never connect before. Like we can have you're in Spain, I'm in Arizona. We're connecting. That's a beautiful thing, you know?
Yeah.
So some people and I'm this way too, when technological advances come through, I get a little, and then I start saying, okay, there's such good benefits to all of this. It's how we're using it. It's really all it is. And oh, it really all too comes down to our consciousness, right? And how we perceive and what we believe and how open we are. And we're becoming more and more open and more connected every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's something I really think about how we were probably all well, we were all consciousness, just in the supercomputer, and then we like breathed into these physical avatars, and then we just go through the cycle where we just upload ourselves online, and then we're no longer physical, we're just again in this supercomputer of consciousness until we then create new avatar physical bodies, and I'm wondering if this is like the start of that, like the real start of that process where more and more people spend more of their waking lives connecting online than connecting in person. And especially now with COVID, we're fully connecting online. Like, I don't know when the last time, what, I mean, I go out, but I don't really follow all the things. But I mean, most people haven't hugged a human outside of their like immediate family in what, a year? And you haven't gotten
Mhm.
together in a gathering, you haven't high fived, you haven't shaken hands. Like, we're being stripped of the physical aspect of our humanity in a lot of ways. And that's just something to note as well. As as we all might be aliens, we're also part human, and that connectivity and just like being aware of how we're connecting, I think is something to just keep in mind as well.
Yeah, for sure. And that makes me think of how alone we can feel so often, and especially now. And
Yeah.
even before this time, just feeling alone, and maybe it's just because you're the crazy person in your family and no one relates to you, and that makes you feel alone. But the remembrance that we are not alone in the universe, that is so comforting to me that our connection to this multiverse, really,
Yeah.
and that there are so many beings that are us, really, that are always with us and helping us. I find that really comforting.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. And knowing that we're drawing in those energies, and some are very light and some are very dark, and being open to the highest and the most good, right? Like, I open
Mhm.
myself up to any energy, entity, or being of the highest that can support me and guide me along my journey, right? And the more that we open to that and ask for that and clarify that we want the highest, the most light, and the most beneficial, the more they come.
Yeah, for sure. You have to and ask and they will come. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as far as the negative and the positive goes, yeah, it's all out there. But when you are love, when you recognize your light, when you know it, when you feel it, when you believe it, the darkness doesn't even pay attention to you. That's just it. It has better things to do, easier prey, you know? When your light is so strong, that is like the most beautiful protection. Love is really all we need in this
Hmm.
grandiose multiverse, right? And another thing about that I wanted to mention is the continuum of time that is now, because talking about spaceships, I can, because I've had the experience of and the memory of being on this ship and flying this ship, and I know that that is another dimensional aspect of me that is existing now, I can call that ship. I can call myself, and I'll tell you what, when I ask for help and I call, I come. Now that might sound a little crazy, but that's the reality. It really is. And when you open yourself up to it, you see it. I see ships all the time, and they're not satellites. I've seen the satellites too. I know the
I
difference.
love that. You also live in like
Yeah,
in the desert in such a cool hub of
I
alien
do.
activity. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, I want more ships. All right,
Yeah, I
aliens,
hear that a
come
lot.
from
Like
me.
Brian never sees the ships, and he gets really a little upset about it because he wants to see them. But here's the thing I think that is preventing the seeing is, and he doesn't necessarily require this, but I think there's an element to it where when we require the proof in order to believe, they're not going to appease
Yeah,
us that way.
yeah.
It's
Believe it
like in
and you
order
will
to see
see
a
it.
fairy, you got to believe in it in order to see it, right?
Yeah.
First. And
Hmm.
that's a good lesson in life. Believe it in order to see it.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Wayne
And so
Dyer. That's one
even
of Wayne Dyer's books. You have to
is it
believe it to see it. Yeah.
nice? I love him.
Yeah. Oh,
um,
Wayne.
but yeah, and it's funny because every time I've wanted to pick up my phone to call him or even get it on video, it takes off. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I know you're not for everyone else. You're just for me. Thank you. I don't need to prove this. Right. So it's okay if anyone wants to think I'm crazy. It's a proof enough to me. And it gives me peace to know that we're bigger than this. There's a bigger aspect
Hmm.
of all of us and that we're all connected.
Yeah, we definitely are. Well, this has been so fun. I want to know anyone else that has had alien experiences or encounters or feels like they're an alien or has that O negative bloodline. I want to know. We want to know. Reach out to us on social. We love hearing from you. Or share in the Positive Head Facebook group. Like it's a great
Yeah.
community and we love seeing your comments and just what you're sharing. Make sure to tag us in it as well so that we actually see your post. And yeah,
That'd
this
be
was
fun. I
fun.
love
Thank
to hear your alien stories. Alien
Me
stories are
too.
really fun for me to hear. So, yes, we would love to hear those. You guys reach out, let us know. Thank you all for joining us. We love you. We're going to leave you with a song for today. This is Merkaba Connection. Until next time, we love you all.
Love you.
Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
On the earth, she dances with you, as you. We celebrate, knowing that we are connected to her and all of life. We are connected. Breath, we breathe together as one. In every breath, we breathe together as one.